Well, thanks to Mother Nature last week, the Chicago Bears ended up adding 2 extra practices for fans this preseason because the joint practice against the Cincinnati Bengals was canceled. So the Bears added a practice on August 19th today and August 20th tomorrow. Super happy that the Bears did that because it shows that they're caring about their fans. And also on top of it, Family Days was canceled due to the concerts recently down at Soldier Field, along with apparently the Democratic Convention. So the Bears are doing the right things for the fans and things are going in the right direction. So super excited also with the news that came out of practice today. And I'm excited to break it all down for you guys because Kyler Gordon had himself a day, especially when he was going against Keenan Allen and Caleb Williams. The defense as a whole is just making a ton of pressure, but the offense still had a lot of big strides today and things were going in the proper direction. And there's a lot of good things that came out of practice today. So hello, everyone, and welcome back to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. My name is Nick Brody, and as always, thank you for tuning in. As you guys can see, I am on the road again. I am in beautiful New York City right now, reporting from you guys, bringing camp updates. So continuously bringing the live streams and bringing the news for you guys. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I can't wait to break it all down for you guys. But before we begin today's show, please remember to like this video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all Chicago Bears news and content. And if you're watching in the live chat right now, make sure to comment if you think the Chicago Bears will have a top 5 defense or not in 2024. Or if you're watching after the live stream, put it in the chat below. Would love to see what you guys are thinking of our defense so far because, man, they look solid. They look fast. They're young. And I am super excited for the Monsters of the Midway to be back for the Chicago Bears. So let's just kind of get into things right now, guys. Starting off with Caleb Williams Day, obviously the guy that we're all really looking forward to. I think that he had another solid day, all things considered. He was intercepted twice off of Kyler Gordon, who had the biggest practice today, especially coming off that Bengals game. But Caleb Williams did indeed look very solid. He had a nice couple passes down the field to Keenan Allen, and actually totaling 3 total touchdowns to Keenan Allen today. So very solid stuff from the rookie to veteran connection. Also, Keenan Allen did not look fat. I've seen that people are saying that Keenan Allen's a little bit overweight. Dude looks fine. He's actually ripping it up and he's beating defenders downfield. So I'm not too worried about that. But Caleb Williams had a good day today, considering the fact that there was a lot of pressure up the middle by the defensive line. On top of that, too, Montez Sweat and Javon Dexter Sr. were in Williams' face, but Williams still was able to dump it off to his running back, whether it be Khalil Herbert or DeAndre Swift multiple times. Williams is going through the motions and understanding this offense really well, and that's what's looking good in practice so far from reports that I'm seeing. He did rip it up a little bit with his legs as well, going to the outside, doing that bootleg like we saw to that pass with Rome Odunze. So the team is overall just kind of clicking, and Caleb's clicking as well. The offense is looking like it's going to do some pretty solid things here. And I'm really excited to hear about the connection between Keenan Allen and Caleb Williams because we brought in Keenan Allen before we even brought in Rome Odunze, and it was supposed to be DJ Moore and Keenan Allen and Tyler Scott. Well, obviously now you have more of Rome Odunze, but Keenan Allen, 6-time Pro Bowler in the last 7 years, a career year last year with over 1,300 receiving yards. And on top of that, too, he only played in 12 games. This guy is going to help Caleb get to the next level. He's going to help Caleb continue to thrive. And that's what I'm excited about to see from Caleb Williams as a whole to Keenan Allen. These two connecting kind of gives a little bit of a glimpse of what could be happening this upcoming Thursday night against the Kansas City Chiefs, which I'm also super excited about, by the way, because we get to potentially see Patrick Mahomes out there as Andy Reid's been playing them the whole time. And I would love to see him versus Caleb Williams. Could be a really good teaching thing for Williams in person, but on top of it too, just good overall for the NFL for things to see. But Williams is doing a great job so far. I mean, he's playing a lot better than a lot of quarterbacks that we've seen in the Chicago Bears uniforms over the last couple of years. And yes, he's going to make mistakes. Yes, things are going to happen. But overall, I think he's doing a really solid job. And that's because of the help of Keenan Allen, who this was the Keenan Allen practice today, had 3 receiving touchdowns from Caleb Williams today. But on top of it, too, a couple nice catches over the middle, a couple nice catches deep down the sideline. Williams and Allen are starting to really click together. And that's a big thing for the Chicago Bears because it might be the only year that we have Keenan Allen. He's helping teach Rome Odunze. He's helping teach DJ Moore. But what I like about this, too, is that Allen's the biggest wide receiver that we have besides Rome Odunze. So, the fact that he can play downfield, and Williams throw it up to him, play across the middle, not just be a red zone target for Caleb Williams is obviously big. And I'm not saying Keenan Allen has been that his entire career. Keenan Allen's been one of the better wide receivers in the NFL. He can do it all. And that's what makes him really special. And that's why I'm excited that him and Caleb Williams are really starting to click. He's also understanding Shane Waldron's offense really, really well out of the gate so far. And everything's clicking along really well. Shane Waldron, too, shout out to him. I want to just say that I've been saying it the last couple of shows, and I want to say it again. He has gotten this entire offense all on the same page. Caleb Williams is understanding his offense, only working with him for 3 months. We didn't even see Justin Fields understand Luke Getzey's offense in 2 years. So obviously being a good teacher, things are working out really well. That's what you want to see out of your quarterback to offensive coordinator connection. And he's using all the weapons really well. We're seeing good things with DJ Moore. We're seeing really good things with Rome Odunze. Now we're starting to finally see more of the Keenan Allen type of connection. Your tight ends are working across the board. You're working with offensive line coach Chris Morgan and putting things together. This is what is going to make this team great. And Shane Waldron is definitely doing that. And we're seeing that practice in, practice out over and over and over again. So good news there. Want to go into the offensive line for you guys today because a lot of good news coming out of that. I just dropped a video earlier today explaining why this offensive line is exceeding expectations really well so far in the beginning of the preseason, only giving up 2 sacks and 9 total quarterback pressures. All PFF grades above 63 besides Coleman Shelton, who got a 58.9. But overall, this offensive line is performing a lot better than last year. And I would love to hear what you guys think about it too as well, because there's also good news across that front. We do have Nate Davis back. Nate Davis practiced again today. He did struggle against Javon Dexter Sr. a few times, but he is shaking off a lot of rust. So there's a lot of things to consider there with the offensive line as a whole. But he did get blown up by Javon Dexter Sr. This is the last day of him really shaking off the rust, but it's good to see Nate Davis is consistently out there now, playing on this team, protecting Caleb Williams and getting up to speed. And the overall offensive line looks like opening day against the Titans is going to be from left to right. Braxton Jones, Tevin Jenkins, left to right. Braxton Jones, Tevin Jenkins, Coleman Shelton, Nate Davis, and then Darnell Wright. Solid offensive line, by the way. Young, talented, getting things in the motion. This offensive line is looking good really overall. So happy Nate Davis was back out there. Also, Darnell Wright did a lot of work today. We haven't been really talking about him a lot during this preseason, but he has been a successor. So it's good to see that Darnell Wright is doing all the good things. Our first round pick last year was brought in to improve this offensive line, and that's exactly what he's doing. I like what he's seeing from the right side. And also after practice, he was spotted working with Montez Sweat, which I thought was really impactful. You could saw that Darnell Wright was talking to him. Sweat was taking the time to work with the second-year guy because obviously going against one of the best edge rushers in the league, practicing against him all the time, you can ask those specific questions. And that's what we saw out of it. After practice, they were working together. They looked really good. That's what I want to see this team continue to do because you're building that chemistry. You're using your tools in your own shed, and that's what's going to help this team continue to get better. So Darnell Wright had a good practice today. We haven't talked about him enough, but I'm excited about the second-year guy out of Tennessee. Let's go to the big news, though, that rookie Kiran Amegadjie had his first official practice today after being activated off the NFI list. So he's now even able to go through practice. It was good that it was just shells today. It was to start getting him up to speed because we might see him in pads tomorrow. I'm not banking on it, but he is activated off the list, so the Bears are probably going to be putting him out there. But all good spirits. He looked really happy. The Hinsdale kid was excited to play for his home team, is now actually getting to do that. We might be able to see him against the Kansas City Chiefs this Thursday night. He's not a starter. He was running with the twos, but he didn't look bad. I mean, they had him moving in out of guard and out of tackle. So it's cool to see that he has versatility. We brought him in as a third-round pick. This guy was a projected late first before his injury this past year. So overall, things looked really good for the rookie out of the gate, and I'm excited for him in that perspective. Again, before we get more into today's show, if you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment in the live chat or in the comment section below if you think the Chicago Bears are going to have a top 5 defense or not. I think that they will. I'm excited about what they're putting out there on the product. This defense looks hungry. They look good. They're so young. Matt Eberflus is doing a great job, and Eric Washington's doing an even better job. So I really like what I am seeing out of this defensive front so far, or just defense as a whole. And before we get more into today's episode, I would like to thank today's sponsor, Authentico Tequila. If you like tequila, but not the hard aftertaste, Authentico is one of the smoothest tequilas that I've ever had, and I highly suggest you guys try it. A Chicago-based startup and family-owned company, also uses a family-owned farm in Guadalajara, Mexico. USDA approved organic, no additives, is something that you need to try before summer's over and make in one of your specialty drinks this upcoming football season. So guys, let's keep going through today's show. I'll get to the comment section in a little bit. Keep throwing those in there. I'll be throwing up on the screen at the end. Love hearing from you guys, and thank you for your continuous support, because things are going in a really good direction. It's an exciting time to be a Bears fan, and I hope you guys are excited too. Quickly going through the defense really quick. I think the defense had a really nice day today. Kyler Gordon was definitely the star. 2 interceptions on Caleb Williams today across the middle that was supposed to go to Keenan Allen. Kyler Gordon, I mean, he hasn't practiced literally all offseason. He comes back to practice last Thursday. He plays Saturday, has the huge hit on Cincinnati's second-string quarterback. I mean, Kyler Gordon just looks really good so far, guys. I'm happy to see the third-year man out of Washington is getting over his injuries. He had the injury bug last year. He had it at the beginning of this year, but he looks solid. He looks athletic. He looks faster. He looks more comfortable out there. It's only his third year, and he's only 25 years old. So he's going to be a part of this defense for a long time. Obviously, we don't have to give him a contract extension until next year, but I think that we will, because I like what I'm seeing out of him. He's everything that this Bears defense needs. He's an exciting player to watch. He's an exciting guy on the field. He knows how to read offenses really well too, and you've seen that continuous improvement. I think bringing in Eric Washington and having Matt Eberflus helps him in both ways, because Eric Washington helps him get after the backfield on a blitz package. But Matt Eberflus was one of the best defensive back coaches in the NFL for the last 15 years. That's why he was a defensive coordinator for the Cowboys and the Colts. They always had a top 3 secondary, and that's exactly what the Bears have right now. So they look solid overall. I like what I'm seeing out of Kyler Gordon. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Jaquan Brisker, who was also returned today, which was really good news, because Kevin Byard is out with an injury, a notable injury, something to keep in mind. But from a safety perspective, we did have Jaquan Brisker back today, who's been battling a leg injury as well. And he looked really good. He looked comfortable. He was flowing out there. But him and Kyler were Brian Pohl's first 2 picks, and both of them together out there, they look like a good duo and a dangerous duo as well. So they're improving their game as practice goes on, which is only going to improve Caleb Williams. And the defense just keeps turning it up notches. And that's because of guys like Tremaine Edmonds, Montez Sweat, TJ Edwards. The leaders of our defense, and obviously Jalen Johnson, the leaders of our defense are seeing when, okay, this is the level that Caleb's at. We know that we're a top 3 unit in this NFL right now. Let's get him up to speed. Let's take it up that next level. Let's continue to get us more comfortable and shake off the rust, but let's help out the rookie right now. And that's what Jaquan Brisker, Kyler Gordon, Tyreek Stevenson, Jalen Johnson, Kevin Byard, all these different defensive backs are doing, and they look really good out there so far. I know the injury bug has kind of struck them a little bit, but that shows how much depth we have too. Like if Kevin Byard goes down, it's like, okay, we still have a top 3 unit. That's how much talent we have. So they brought the heat today for Caleb Williams, a lot of pass deflections too, but you're seeing that out of also your DB, your second string DBs as well. So everyone's kind of working in a good direction right now. This team is continuously improving, and that's what I like to see. Going from a defensive line perspective, Gervon Dexter Sr. had a really big practice today, blowing up the defensive line along with Montez Sweat. These two are going to be a dangerous duo as well. I'm not worried about the defensive line. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I really am not worried about it. Like if the Bears don't end up bringing anyone else in this offseason, so what? I think that we're set. Austin Booker has been absolutely doing fantastic this preseason so far. You got James Hardy, who I was not expecting either to have a really big offseason either. Gervon Dexter, Andrew Billings, Montez Sweat, DeMarcus Walker, all these guys are just getting to the backfield and making it really difficult for offenses in order to move the ball. So things are looking good so far. From a defensive line perspective, that's also helping our offensive line get better. That's helping Caleb Williams get better. Things are going good across the board so far. Also, speaking of the defensive line, Zach Pickens was spotted limping off after the 11-on-11s today. Something to keep in mind. The second-year man out of South Carolina, we're hoping has a big boost this year, but he has been battling the injury bug so far this preseason. So something to keep in mind, something to look out for, because the door is opening now for other guys. I think Pickens obviously is going to stay on this roster. He is on a 4-year rookie contract. He was drafted by Ryan Poles. So I don't see him leaving, but something to keep in mind because we need this guy to have a big season in order to continue to potentially help our draft next year so we don't have to use draft picks on defensive linemen or anything along those lines. So lots of fun updates today for the Chicago Bears. Let's go into the Q&A real quick, guys. But also, before I do that, I do want to make a very special announcement. I am hosting our first watch party of the season on week 2 on Sunday Night Football as the Bears take on the Houston Texans. September 15th, doors open at 5 p.m. at Rizzo's Bar and Inn in Wrigleyville. Address is on the screen right now, and the link to the tickets are in the description. $20 ticket gets you your entry, a margarita, an Authentico margarita, or an Authentico drink of your choice, along with a donation to a local Chicago charity that helps first-generation college students. So come party, come have a good time. The whole point of it is that we're here to see Caleb Williams take on arguably who could be in the Super Bowl for the AFC this year on his first primetime game. But we had over 350 people at the draft party. It was a ton of fun, and I hope to see you guys there. I'm really excited about it. But yes, link is in the description for our watch party. Make sure you go and check that out today. Also, while I'm traveling, the best place to find constant updates is my Twitter, JShyBears. I'm also a Chicago Nick if you want to see my personal Twitter for different takes like that. But all things are alive and well. Wow, we got 80 people in the chat right now. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you're just tuning in right now, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment in the live chat right now if you think the Bears will have a top 5 defense or not. Let's go over to the live chat right now for you guys. We've been breaking it down for you. Is Don Burr here? Don Burr is here. We'll get to that in a little bit. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat right now. Really excited. We'll go through it real quick. But I hope it takes flight, guys. I can't thank you guys enough for all your support. Really excited about it. Kyler Gordon is a freak guy. Thanks for the comment over here. We got David Carter thinking that the Bears will have a top 3 defense this upcoming season. So again, if you guys think the Bears are going to have a top 3 or top 5 defense, make sure you guys put that out there. Jeff, I am back on the road. I'm in New York City right now. The grind doesn't stop. I want this to be my full-time job. And with your guys' support and you guys just liking the video and commenting helps it out a ton. What's up, Joseph R? Go get guys and make the city proud. Thursday Night Football is going to be super exciting. I am hosting my first ever play-by-play live stream this Thursday night against the Kansas City Chiefs. Doors will open to the live stream 45 minutes before. I might do an hour. Would love to see you guys there. So make sure you hit that subscribe button with notifications so you guys find out right when I'm posting right away. I also will have an immediate reaction after Hard Knocks tomorrow night with Tony Sapita. Things are looking in the right direction. I hope to have a video for you guys Wednesday, but I am traveling back from New York that day. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Bear down. David, good question. Will Theo Benedict be back before the last preseason game? His injury was for 6 weeks. So I think the Bears will end up putting him on the NFI list if they want to keep him. I hope that they do keep Theo because he is a really valuable person to have in the locker room. And he's really talented. He was the #1 offensive lineman in the Canadian College Football League the last 2 seasons. So something to put out there too. Broski Bear, will the Bears and Chiefs play their starters? It hasn't been confirmed yet, but the Chiefs have played their starters in every single game. And obviously the NFL would love to see Patrick Mahomes and Caleb Williams out there for a little bit. I would love if the Bears played Caleb Williams at least for a little bit because, obviously the reps are valuable. We saw that his progression got better as the game went on in Saturday's game against the Bengals. So I want the Bears to play their starters. I think you guys do too. Make sure you hit that like button if you do want the Bears to play their starters. So more to come on that, and I will drop that as soon as I know for you guys. Jeff is thinking that the Bears do have a top 5 defense if they stay healthy. Couldn't agree more on that. Ariel, nice to see you on a Monday. Usually I see you later in the week, but thanks for tuning in. I think Caleb might be him. I couldn't agree more. Don Burr coming with the news. Already said that their starters are sitting. So Don, thanks for that information right there. I appreciate it. I know it's Detroit versus everybody, but thanks for bringing that that offense, the comment. Joseph, our top 5 defense is doable. Santana thinks we have a top 10 defense. What is going on with Jaquan Brisker? He does have a leg injury, but he was back at practice today, guys. So really good news there in regards to Jaquan Brisker. But good stuff over there. We got Sean Wade, absolutely top 5, if not higher. I think that we are a top 3 defense. That's just my personal opinion, guys. We got Scott saying a top 3 defense as well. We have Blue Dragon Goonie saying a top 5 defense as well. Scott saying we're winning the North. I want to hear what you guys think about that comment. I think that we are going to make a lot of noise, and I think the Bears are going to win the NFC North this year. They got everyone scared. That's why Don Burr is watching in with us right now. We got Bear Down from Milton. Great to see you. Jeff, FGB. Good to see here. Let's see. Andy Reid said the starters are sitting. So thank you, Coconut Pete, for confirming that. So sorry, Broski Bear, that they will not be playing. But I would like to see Caleb Williams still play this upcoming weekend, guys. Reporters are saying that they think that no starters. We'll see about that. Things change. They weren't even supposed to play more than the first quarter, and they played the whole second half. So we'll see what ends up happening. We got Gene. Definitely they should play their starters at least one quarter, if not the half. Couldn't agree more with you, Gene. I'm watching because I love to laugh. Love you, Don Burr. Thanks for always tuning in, man. I know that you're a Lions fan, but you always support the channel, so I really appreciate that. But guys, what would you give Caleb Williams' grade overall for today? You know, he did have 2 interceptions on Kyler Gordon, a couple pass deflections, but did have 3 touchdown passes to Keenan Allen. Also had a nice touchdown pass to Tyler Scott from what I'm reading. So let's hear what you guys would give Caleb Williams' day A to F based on just that little information and what you guys have seen. More highlights from the Bears usually drop a couple hours after practice. I would have been making a hard-coded video, guys, for today, but I wanted to make sure I got you guys practice information because I am on the road and I packed my mic this time, so hopefully no issues. But let's see what you guys think on Caleb Williams' grade for today real quick. Oh, man. Coconut Pete's starting a little bit of a war with Don Burr. I love it. Mr. Englewood 77, Bears should allow Tyson Bagent to get as many live reps as he can. Tyson Bagent also looked super solid against the Bengals. I am just really grateful that the Bears have depth at all different positions, and we're not having like a quarterback one competition with mediocre quarterbacks anymore. We obviously have Caleb Williams locked in, but like we have Tyson Bagent, kind of like what Kyle Orton was. The Rex Grossman, though Kyle Orton should have played more. I think he would have absolutely won us the Super Bowl back in 2005 or 2006. He was a starter. We just needed someone serviceable. Nothing against Sexy Rexy, but a little bit. I think that like Tyson Bagent is a really solid quarterback. I actually now, if this would have been the direction that the Bears went, I think that they would have won more games with Bagent. I think they would have won at least the Lions game or at least the Browns game last year. Those field fumbles killed us. But I like what Tyson Bagent brings. I think he would have won us more ball games last year. Obviously, it worked out in our favor. Well, the number 1 pick was already ours anyway, but we got Rome because of our record. I think that Tyson Bagent is the guy, and I think that he'll eventually end up get a guy for number 2. I think he'll eventually get a starting job elsewhere. He has every piece that you want in a starting quarterback. Our friend Eric Kramer, who comes on pretty often, who will be on during week 1. Really, we have a whole lineup of people coming on for week 1 leading up to it. So you guys don't want to miss that. Tyson Bagent's a good quarterback. I think he would have won us more games. He brings every element. Overall, it's just a good feeling that the Bears have a strong backup quarterback to back up Caleb Williams if something does go wrong, because of the fact that this team is the most talented it has been in a really long time. And also we have longevity too. Like this team isn't just a one and done like 2018 where like we're all in a win now, like let's do it. Ryan Poles has built this team for the longevity. We have Montez Sweat under contract, Jalen Johnson under contract, Caleb under contract, DJ under contract, Cole under contract. Our offensive line, probably Tevin's going to be under contract. Trevon's on his rookie contract. Kyler, everybody. This team is just loaded from top to bottom with good contracts. We have cap for the next couple of years. Really good, just a good feeling to have. And then having a solid backup quarterback is obviously pretty darn big. And Jeff, couldn't agree more right there. In Poles we trust. That's it right there. In Poles we trust. I really trust what he's put together with this team. They look good in practice. Everything is looking good overall. Before I got Coconut Pete here, how do you feel about Austin Reed? Small sample size so far, but I like him. I think he has a good head on his shoulders. I like what he brings to the table. A small college guy. Kind of like Bagent. He has everything that you want in a quarterback too, but he's like good friends with Cole Kmet, Bagent, all these different guys. So clearly he's a good teammate. I think Brett Rippon is going to get the quarterback 3, but that's going to, go in and out. Like you might put Brett Rippon on IR for something just to like keep him off. And then kind of like we did with Nathan Peterman, constantly bringing him in and out. But Austin Reed, I think, will be on the practice squad. I don't think he's shown enough in order to be like every team wants this guy to be their backup. So he'll be in the Bears system for the next year. Brett Ribbon's on a 1-year contract. You bring back Austin Reed next year and re-sign him to a real one. So then you have all your quarterbacks locked in because Bajan will have 2 years left on his contract. Williams will have 3 years left on his contract. You sign Reed to a 3-4-year contract, whatever. You have quarterback 1, 2, and 3 lined up for the next couple of years. Really good stuff today. And also on top of it, this is what I'm kind of talking about. He was on Cole Kmet's podcast today, which the 85 by CHGO, I think it's a really cool show. I like that players are doing it. A little envious, to be honest with you guys, about it, because like it is super cool that Cole like is bringing on his own teammates. I mean, obviously it makes sense. He gets to talk to them all the time, but it's good stuff overall. Like, make sure you go check out the 85 podcast. It is super entertaining to watch, and you get a more in-depth breakdown about what it's like in these guys, who they are, not just as football players, but as people. But yeah, guys, it was a really good practice today overall. I like what I saw. Quickly again, before we leave today, if you haven't already, if you please could hit the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm doing my first ever play-by-play live stream Thursday night for you guys. Doors are going to open an hour before the game. I'm really excited about it. I hope that you guys can make it and tune in to Just Another Years, because we're going to start doing it before every single game. And also make sure you comment if you think the Bears are going to have a top 5 defense or not. So overall, guys, the team had a good practice today. Kyler Gordon did have a really good game, or a good practice. Excited to see him back. And also can't wait for tomorrow night with Hard Knocks episode 3. I will be doing a live stream from New York City, which is where I am right now. And if you guys are in New York or you guys have any suggestions, throw it in the comments right now. Would love to hear what you guys are thinking. I'm about to go walk over to look at the Statue of Liberty. Pretty excited about that. Never done that before, but really appreciate you guys tuning into yet another live stream. We're doing live streams more and more, and we're seeing more and more people in it. So thank you guys so much for your support. But with that, thank you, as always, for tuning into this episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. My name is Dick Rohde, and as always, bear down, baby.